last weekend we saw the end of the 2023-2024 in the Npfl. And of course, the Sporting Lagos fans, they were optimistic, they were praying, they were fasting, and they were hoping that result goes their way in the other, centers, and if they can pick maximum point on their home turf. But that was not what happened this weekend. So let's see the result from the Npfl first before my guy in the studio, do justice, to that. Of course, Sporting Lagos, played away from home against Shooting Stars. Shooting Stars, funny enough, they were also chasing Continental place. So that's the result on your screen. Bender Insurance lost at home to Bayelsa United. I am suspecting Bender Insurance here, because Bayelsa were not supposed to win that game.
Well, one thing I want us to get correctly this season is that Nigerian football, just like every other football where you have it, there are no minnows any longer.
Definitely.
And then I like that this season we actually saw more of away wins more than home wins. So because you are playing at home does not guarantee that you are supposed to win. We saw it happen a couple of times towards the tail end of the season, towards the second half of the season. It happened a lot, and then it was so good to see. I mean, so many positives to take away from this season in the Nigerian Premier Football League, because yes, it actually gave us so many. I think the last season in the Nigerian Premier Football League that I've seen, and maybe up to par with this season, is the 2016-2017, and that was when Enugu Rangers last won it. We were still under LMC then.
Yeah. So maybe Enugu Rangers should keep winning the league. And just maybe the league will keep on, giving improving definitely. Because just like you pointed out, Enugu Rangers won this one again. And Fidelis Ilechuku, I mean, we can talk about that man. This is the third time that he's getting, close and this time around, he didn't just get close to it, he also won it. And of course, Rangers are international, are the champions of the Npfl this season. Let's see the table before we talk about Rangers, in a bit. At the table in the Npfl, Rangers, top with Remo Stars, coming second, and Enyimba, coming third. With Shooting Stars narrowly missing out,
I feel bad for Shooting Stars.
I feel bad for them because this is like their best position in over 15 or 20 years in the league. I'm talking about relegations. Gombe United have been confirmed even before we got to the tail end of the season. Atland FC of Owerri, a very, very disappointing team.
Well,
power name when it comes to Nigerian football.
Yes. Well, you can talk about Atland FC and talk about they being the architect of their own downfall. And then let's talk about always having politics in our football, because that was what actually played out with them. The state governor mentioned that barrister, sorry, I beg your pardon.
Don't worry, it's not a political show.
Yeah, so there was this saga between them sacking Christian Obi at a point in time, and then the state governor be like, oh no, I want Christian Obi back when you brought in Kennedy Boboye, and they were already getting a couple results. And that can disrupt the team. Christian came back, and then they fell back again, because when Kennedy came around, it took them up to like the half of the table, maybe around 16 or 17, because it was not that bad. But Christian came back again, and then you have them relegated even before the last set of matches in the Nigerian Premier Football League. So yes, I will always advocate, as much as we know that most of these teams are still state-owned, are still government, bankrolled, we need to take away
some level of freedom for
these teams. Imagine Enugu Rangers, and we know that yes, they are a state team as well, but then there's a bit of
calmness,
doing it the way you want to do it. Sure, you get. So I tell you that you need organization to run our sport effectively, and then that is the major thing I feel about Atland FC relegation. I mean,
a particular team there, Sporting Lagos finished 18th, 17th, I beg your pardon, and I think their home form in the second half of the season, what is the reason why, they are getting relegated? A very, very terrible home form. With the like of Sikiru Alimi not doing anything. I think they have Lokosa also
they have Lokosa.
in the team. Well, I mean, those two guys are like the highest paid, one of the highest paid players in the Npfl.
Yes.
And for them not to be able to push, Sporting Lagos up there in the league, or is it a case of them also firing their manager, prematurely during the season?
I would not,
because that happened also.
Yeah, Coach Paul Ofor. I would not say because they fired their manager, but then this is a new ground for Sporting Lagos. They came to test the waters.
So it's a learning curve for them.
It's a learning. I mean, this is their first season. Look at what happened to Doma United too.
Sure.
Their first season. So there's always when you go there and go and learn. We see it happen in Europe as well.
Definitely.
You go in your first season, you check out their doing. Maybe when they come back next time, they will actually learn because they came this time around and they were so noisy.
Maybe they will have more sense. Maybe
I already said that particularly.
I mean, but that's the case.
They were so noisy.
That's the case.
They were so they dubbed them noisy Lagosians, tech boys, call them whatever you want to call them. But there's a couple of bright prospects in this team. Talk about Christian Alikwe. I think it's the third highest goal scorer in Nigerian Premier Football League. Had like 12 or 13 goals. So you can talk about them actually, you know, producing enough for themselves to go into the next season. And then Sporting Lagos generally, you mentioned that the second half of the season was where they missed it a little bit, and then that was when they actually made way with Coach Paul Ofor as well, maybe because they were not getting the type of results they were getting earlier in the season. Because yes, they were fresh from the NNL, and then it always happens that a team will be looking to understand your playing style, the way you do your things, and then once everyone knows that this is the way you do, okay, fine, we're coming to your home. You normally use home advantage against
what
us.
They didn't do.
They didn't get that right.
All right. I mean, but then again, just like you said, this is a learning curve for Sporting Lagos, and hopefully, when they spend one more season in the NLL and they come back 2025-2026 season,
You're already predicting they're coming back next season?
I'm predicting them coming back.
If they're able to win the plastic cup
by the time they come back, you know, the following season, their noise will not be as the one they are making right now. They call them noisy neighbors. And funny enough, my friend, my brother also in the industry, Benny Boye, you know, he's one of the media team in Sporting Lagos. He was on the show 2 weeks ago, and he promised me that Sporting Lagos were not going to get relegated. I'm expecting him on Wednesday on the show. To get his thoughts, maybe whoever gave him that prediction, he has to go and find that person. Tell him.
Did him wrong.
Maybe, I don't know, whichever religion that he's practicing, whoever gave him that prediction, you need to hold that person by the throat. But then again, one particular team they are celebrating right now, and that has to do with Enugu Rangers. And Fidelis Lechuku is the man on top of the moon right now. He literally has the moon in his palms right now because of winning the Npfl with Enugu Rangers. And 150 million. I mean, my director will help us put some of the clips from Enugu Rangers, you know, trophy presentation on the screen shortly. 150 million thousand naira. I almost said 150 million euros. 150 million thousand. 150 million naira. I beg your pardon. Sorry. The money is big. So
bogus. The first time it happened. Exactly. I think the last time was 100 million, and then so you know. I mean, kudos to them. Let's take it back a bit. You know, to the 150 million. It's a very, very big money. If you do agree with me, and that's of course 150 million naira. I mean, this should go a long way for the football club. Definitely, it should. I mean, we saw what happened with Rivers United last season as well when they won the league. I think theirs was 100 million, and then they did spend it judiciously, and they were able to represent us on the continental stage so well.
They represent us well.
But then they got to the quarterfinals, so you cannot take it away.
Because I'm already thinking, this is 150 million naira.
Yes.
How they spend it, and how they use it, will determine how well they progress, you know, on the continent.
They have to go on break. They have to go, you know, the seasonal break. Let them. I think for Rivers United, I think they went to Spain or something, and then they had a couple of, you know, holidays there. I
feel they should play African teams in their preseason. Because these are some of the teams that you'll be facing on the continent. Yes. So I feel this is what Rangers should do.
But then they need to have a feel of the outsiders, because I mean, as much as you're clamoring for the European teams to always come down here as well,
they also should go.
And have a feel of
it. For marketability, I get you.
I mean, over time we've actually seen it play out a lot of times. Let's talk about the defunct Ifayoba. You know, there was a time they had this collaboration with West Ham United, if I'm not mistaken, and then their players always move vis-a-vis. And then we've seen a lot of private teams in Nigerian Premier Football League now who definitely have affiliations with teams outside the country, even Remo Stars with their, you know, their Portuguese side. Same with this same Sporting Lagos
with this club in Denmark.
Another club in Denmark. So it's good for us if you are marketing like this. And then Barrister Amobi Ezeaku for Rangers, I think he's done a superb job this season with that particular team. Talk about their branding, top notch.
Definitely. Up there with Ayimba, Sporting Lagos, and Remo Stars.
Ayimba, Ayimba, fine.
I mean, Ayimba has the finest jersey in the Nigerian Premier League. Not because
Israel Adesanya wore the jersey.
No, it's not because Israel Adesanya. That one self day.
Okay.
He day. But then again, if you look at Ayimba's jersey, look at Enugu Rangers, look at Sporting Lagos, look at Remo Stars. I think the closest to anybody jersey has to be Sporting Lagos jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, and
then with sponsorship as well.
So I mean, that's big money. That's big money for them. And we saw Nwankwo Kanu, you know, jubilating, qualifying for the continent for CAF Confederation Cup. So I still feel Nigerian teams, you know, their preseason, they should play their preseason tournaments with African teams, especially those that are going to be playing on the continent.
And if you're going to be playing against African teams, then we should do Northern African teams, because that is where we always have issues. Let's take it back, because you mentioned Eyimba, and then they'll be on the continent again, CAF Champions League. The qualifying series last year, I think around August, they played against Al Ahly Benghazi. And then Al Ahly didn't do them good. They did them dirty. Home and away. They were not able to get any win against Al Ahly. I think maybe Remo Stars got a draw against FC Mediama of Ghana in their own. So these teams going into this year's continental, you know, sports, they need to do us more good. Because I think the farthest we've gone playing on the continent, maybe quarterfinals in recent years.
Yeah, I think it's quarterfinals.
Quarterfinal.
And that has to be Rivers United.
Quarterfinals in recent years. So we need to do better than that, because every now and then we say we want to be on the continent, and then these teams just go there. Once you hear a Nigerian team up against a Northern African team, just know that, okay, maybe we can get to win the first leg at home, but you go to their own backyard,
dirty.
They beat you back and forth.
hopefully that will change, you know, when the new season starts in for, you know, the league at home as well as on the continent. And I am expecting great things from Rivers United, for Rangers International and Remo Stars, as well as Eyimba Football Club of Aba. Of course, Rangers will be representing Nigeria in the CAF Champions League alongside Remo Stars, while Eyimba will be playing in the CAF Confederation Cup. The fourth slot, talking about the second slot in the CAF Confederation Cup, will be given to the team, you know, that wins the
Confederations Cup.
the
President's Federations Cup.
President Federations Cup.